Hi, Shell Point. I'm Christy Skinner, your Vice President of Healthcare, joined today by John Thorpe, our Director of Connections, and we're bringing you another edition of Healthy Eating. John, we tend to have quite a few offerings of salmon on the Shell Point campus, so it seems it only makes sense that we talk about the benefits of salmon. So let's get right to the benefits of them, especially pertaining to health.
Absolutely. We do offer salmon at most of our restaurants, and it's for a couple of reasons. One, it's not only good for us, but our residents genuinely like it. It's prepared great, and we get a lot of great feedback on it. The benefits are long, and as you can see from the table, very exhaustive. So there's many good things from a health perspective, but I'd like to just focus a little bit more on the brain health elements of salmon. You and I have often spoken about evidence-based approaches relative to the multiple offerings we have here at Shell Point. And in a study of the American Journal of Preventive Medicine, the research suggests that salmon may, in fact, improve brain function.
There's that word prevention again.
Yeah, it does seem to come up quite a bit. Whether it's nutrition or exercise, prevention is important. And what's interesting about this study is while we know omega-3s are incredibly valuable, this study was independent of omega-3s. In another study with folks over 65 years old, consuming fatty fish at least twice a week was linked to a 13% slower decline in age-related memory issues than consuming fatty fish less than once a week. I mention that only because it shares an actual percentage decline versus a more global statement. A few weeks ago when we talked about Corvina, we mentioned that the fried variety has less of an impact to brain health than cooked other ways. The study I just mentioned talked exclusively about the fact that it was baked and broiled, so those methods of cooking really does take advantage of the health benefits.
So when you say the results of the study were independent of omega-3s, you're not suggesting that we don't need omega-3s in our diet, are you?
Oh, absolutely not. Omega-3s are tried and true. We've talked about those benefits. They're found in fish, and I'm not suggesting for a second that we eliminate omega-3s.
So now that you are fast becoming a gourmet cook, what are some ways that you suggest residents prepare salmon?
Well, let's wait a little while before you call me a gourmet cook. I certainly don't want to have an Iron Chef competition versus Todd or anybody else that here at Shell Point. We eat quite a bit of salmon at my home, and it's easy, and from time to time I get called upon to put it on the grill and take it off the grill, but it kind of stops there. I get limited as to how much I can do. But there's not a lot of prep to salmon, and spicing it up is good from time to time. We put pesto on our salmon. My wife Lynn, her favorite is to add a grainy mustard, a balsamic vinaigrette, and brown sugar, and to top it off with all things Pringles potato chips. If you ever wonder what to do with leftovers, you can mix the leftover salmon with light mayonnaise for a nice dip and have it with wheat thins or Triscuit crackers.
That sounds interesting, but let's see what our own chefs have in mind. So today we're at the Palm Grill, and we are joined by Chef Todd, and we always like to highlight different ways that they prepare our healthy eating option that we highlight every other month in the different restaurants. So Chef Todd, thank you so much for joining us today. Salmon is a popular dish here at our community, and so we'd love to hear the way that you prepared it for us today.
Yeah, salmon here at the Palm Grill is probably our most demanded fish out of everything. We can't keep enough of it in-house. We probably go through 40, 50 pounds of salmon a week, believe it or not. So it is a very popular dish, salmon in general. This dish, I tried to make it light and a little bit lighter than our dinner salmon. It's basically just a seared salmon, which when you sear it, it locks in the juices. We sear it real quick and then finish it in the oven, and then serve it over top of some wilted spinach. And on top of that, I put a fresh cucumber and tomato with fresh dill relish on top to finish it off and give it a light flavor. There's some olive oil, some citrus juice in there to round it out. So it's a really nice dish. It's really light. For people who don't like to eat a lot, this is something that you're going to get a well-balanced meal without filling yourself up. So
It's a wonderful, I love that you used cucumbers. That's an unusual topping for salmon. And I think that it is nice because you can diversify salmon so much. You can put it on a salad, you can make it as your main entree, you can incorporate it almost any way you like. You said you can use it with leftovers with Pringles on top. I don't know if I've ever quite heard it that way, but that's a unique way too. So really it's up to you how you want to prepare it, but it always is so good for your overall health and wellness, and specifically, as we highlighted today, your brain health. And that's kind of the nice thing about this series is we take a couple of times where we present your overall health benefits for foods, but concentrate too a couple of times on the brain benefits, which I know is really something that we focus a lot here, especially with the initiatives with our UCLA Connections Cafe that we're highlighting as a new rollout program. So whether you try the salmon here at the Palm Grill or you go to any of the other restaurants on campus, we hope you enjoy it. And on behalf of John, Todd, and myself, we hope you stay healthy, Shell Point.